Ledwaba. Mr. Ledwaba, good morning and welcome to AM News. Thank you, sir. Of course, back in 2001 in Michigan, you were up against Pacquiao. Do you still want to take us through the emotions you went through at that time in your career?
Yes, bro, to be honest, it wasn't like a good fight. It was very sad. Now, when I think of it, because it's then I felt my interests were never protected then. But anyhow, that's how sport is. I went to America to fight a different opponent, of which I was there for almost 4 weeks, and then by the week of the fight, 4 days to go towards the fight, and then my opponent is when we were told that my opponent has been injured in the gym, and so he was replaced by Pacquiao, and of which along the way I was persuaded, but then by my promoter, Ronnie Berman, that I just have to take the fight because Pacquiao is nobody. He hasn't been into the limelight, and then the worst part of it is from flyweight. So we were forced to sign the contract again, and then of which to face Manny in 4 days. Mind you, Manny is a southpaw, and of which while I was preparing for a different opponent, not a southpaw, but an orthodox. So that makes it very difficult for me to adapt to a southpaw. But now, then I went into the...
No, continue.
Yes, I went into the ring and then fought, and then in the second round I was head-butted, and then my nose got broken, and so I couldn't breathe. I was bleeding badly or heavily, I would say. And then so that automatically changed things for me, not to fight to win, but to fight to survive.
So it must have been a challenging time, of course, for you at that time. But now, a couple of years down the line, over 10 years down the line, here's Manny Pacquiao up against Floyd Mayweather. What kind of a fighter has he evolved to be over the years since you get to encounter with him back in 2001?
Well, the truth is he hasn't changed that much from the one that I fought. The only thing that I've noticed that he has gained is like the strength, the power, and as well as the belief. I mean, he's now believing in himself so much in such a way that he has like that helped him to stop most of his opponent. The belief he's got, and so looking at how he is, then the truth is he's like. He's a brawler. He's a fighter that always takes the fight to his opponent.
Speaking of him being a fighter that always takes his fights to his opponent, and now his opponent in this case being Manny Mayweather, he's more of a defense fighter, and in most cases over the years we've seen him winning the fights based on that he'll be fighting those brawler kind of fighters, and he'll be in defense, and he actually at the end of the match he gets to win those matches or even knock them out.
Yes, looking at how Pacquiao fought, you will find that he has fought difficult opponents. He has fought tough opponents, and of which most of the time he was like more involved into a fight in most of the fights. That tells you the kind of fight he had, and so also that also got its own toll when it comes to the endurance and the strength. So right now, say maybe Manny, he might even be not the same person that we used to know. And then coming to the side of the opponent, which is Manny Mayweather, he also happened to fight more or less the same opponents which Manny fought, and of which some he has knocked and some they have lasted the distance. But still, looking at the pattern and the method of their fights, they are too different. Manny Mayweather is fighting mostly on the back foot, moving side to side and countering his opponent. And you'd find maybe fights which were said to be very tough for him tend to be very easy. They tend to be easy. So that tells you that he's more careful more than anyone. Come now, looking at the fight of the two fighters. As Manny, we all know that Manny will be taking the fight to Manny to Floyd, and Floyd will always be there to make sure that he counters everything that Manny is coming with.
Now, we know Manny Mayweather, usually he's that kind of a fighter that always makes a lot of noise before the fight. But on this one, he has been more focused and keeping on the down low, because you're talking about the two personalities of the boxers outside of the ring. You spoke about how Pacquiao is a believer, and that helped him in his career to be where he is. On the other side, Manny Mayweather is more of a bling-bling type of a boxer. What should we read into this one, going into this match, without him saying a lot about the actual fight?
Manny is a very wise person. The truth is, he tends to win the game, the mind game, whenever he's facing his opponents. And so, yes, that's some kind of talking too much or a lot that makes him, that turns him that makes him to intimidate. Automatically his opponents get intimidated by whatever that he's saying. And I still say right now, we were all expecting him to make noise. And then now, this time, the approach of this fight is totally different than to the others. Because even his trainer, the father and the uncle, actually, they are saying they've never seen him this kind of focus in his entire career. This is the first time he's been into this, and that simply means, and again, he has trained more than any fighter has ever trained. So that's how it shows the seriousness of this fight. It shows he's taking this fight very seriously in such a way that he will put everything on the line, even his life, if I may say.
Of course, you fought at the highest level. I mean, how does one even get a sleep knowing that the world is waiting for this big event of which these two boxers are going to be part of? How do they relax, I mean, going into such a big fight?
The nervousness, to be honest, both of the opponents, both of the boxers or the athletes, they are nervous. It's a common thing. Even the greatest of them all, Ali Muhammad, Sugar Ray Leonard, or even Mike Tyson, they all had it in themselves, because they are all concerned that what's going to happen when the time comes, when I enters into the ring. Will I be able to adapt? Will I be able to, or will I get into the ring and come out being a winner? That's what is happening actually into their minds right now. So it's a normal thing that an athlete goes through whenever he's got to compete.
Hands of Stone, just before I let you go, who's your money on?
I put my money on Manny Mayweather.
I'm with you on that one. My money is also on my money.
Based on his skills and fighting style.
All right, that's Lehlohonolo, Hands of Stone, Ledwaba, chatting to us, of course, about that big match between Manny Pacquiao and Manny Mayweather. Stay with us.